Welcome back, everyone. Sorry, some audio issues. Welcome back, everyone. Today happens to be day 6 of Fundamentals of Full Stack Development course from ExcelR. Let me share my screen. Why we have less participants today? Is it due to weather? Is my screen visible? Last class, we discussed about HTML forms and text area. And then we started with CSS. I will do a quick revision of CSS because without basic concepts, you will not be able to follow today's session. So what I will be doing is I will do a quick revision for 5 to 10 minutes, and then I will start with the remaining concepts. Is that fine? And also for CSS, I will change my teaching style a bit because since it is not a theory class, what I will be doing is I will take example for each and everything, and I will explain. Okay, if in case if I am not giving any notes in the class, don't worry. After the class, I will prepare notes and I will give it to you. Is that fine? Because in CSS you hardly find one or two definitions, that's it. You should be clear about the concepts, not about the definition. If somebody asks you to say if somebody asks you like what is CSS, if we say it is used for the styling purpose, then that is also fine. Styling of a website, if you say, that is also fine. If you say beautification of website, that is also fine. Nobody will ask you clearly, tell me exactly what exactly mean by CSS, like that. Nobody is going to ask you. You should be very clear about the concepts. So focus on concepts. Is it clear? Yes. So I will just start. First, we started with the definition. Why do we need CSS? CSS used for the beautification purpose. Okay. With HTML, what we can do is we can decide the basic structure of any web page. And using CSS, we can add styling. If you consider building example, my favorite example, if you just construct a building and without adding colors, without adding painting, without furnishing, and without doors and all, it will look very ugly, right? Even though it is a building, without these things, it won't look better. CSS help us to improve the user experience. In the IT industry, user experience will be having higher priority. Okay, it is one of the criteria. So you might say that if you write a code which is where there is no error and all, and if it does not provide the better user experience, means it is of no use. It should free from bugs, and also it should give proper user experience. Then only in the IT industry clients will buy your products or projects. So it is very, very important. Is that clear? You understood why we require CSS? And when it comes to environment setup, we just need a browser. We just need a basic HTML. First we need a web page, then only we can apply CSS. It is like first we need a building and then only we can do furnishing. So we need HTML for that, and on top of that we can apply CSS. And when it comes to running, we need a browser, any browser. And my favorite is Chrome. Not only my favorite, even in the IT industry, for any project or product, I'm using two terms here: project and product. Can somebody tell me what is the difference? I'm repeatedly saying project and product. So can somebody say what is the difference? Projects usually developed by service-based companies, and product is from product-based companies. We do have two companies, right? Service-based companies and product-based companies. If I ask you which company you want to go for, you will say product-based company. And if I ask you the difference, like what is the difference between service-based and product-based, what should be your answer? What's your answer? Let me explain. See, Microsoft is a product-based company. Infosys is a service-based company. Infosys also have other subsidiary companies called Finacle and all. Finacle is product-based company. Now, if you ask me what is the difference, usually in the service-based company, what will happen is clients will come, and clients are nothing but the end user. Okay, for example, I have a bank. Okay, I have a bank and I need a website for the net banking. Okay, then I will go and I will ask service-based companies to develop the website for me in order to manage the accounts and all for net banking. So here, uh, end user or clients are only going and approaching the company. So what company will do is, based on the requirement, it will quote some amount, say 20 billion. Okay, I'm just taking the example. You can take it as 1 lakh. Say it won't be that much less. It would be monthly salary of an employee. So say 1 lakh, and they will go and they will check with other companies as well, like Infosys, TCS, Wipro. They will check. Okay, so they will at Infosys they will say, okay, I will cover these many requirements, and I will quote 1 lakh. And they will go to TCS and they will check. They will say, okay, I will cover these many requirements and I will give, I will charge 2 lakhs. And Wipro might say different price. Okay, now client should decide which company to go for. It is not on usually for clients, it is not about money. It's about the code quality and the trust which they have on that particular company. For example, I have say there is a startup called XYZ, and Infosys is asking 1 lakh and startup is asking 50,000. Clients will prefer Infosys because they trust Infosys. Okay, so it's like, say you want to deposit some money in the bank. At HDFC, you will be getting 12% interest. And there is a bank called XYZ, and it is offering 15% interest. Where you will go, HDFC or XYZ bank? Please answer. It should be interactive. I know it is very cold. Even weather is same here. Some people are saying XYZ also. Yeah, there will be few people. it is mostly STFC, right? So similarly, based on so many factors, they will choose one company. So once they are done, so while even price and requirements along with that, they will say, okay, in 1 year I will complete. They will give the deadline as well. Okay, 1 year we will complete it. Once they get this, what they will do is they will start implementing the project, and that project will be given only to that particular client, and this project will not be given to anyone else. Okay, this is how it works in service based company. And then when it comes to product based company, like we have SAP, Oracle, and all. So what they will do is, considering there will be different units. Okay, for example, Oracle, when it comes to Oracle, they might be doing products related to database. Okay, and when it comes to SAP, they are famous for resource management. Okay, so they will be developing products based on the requirements. Okay, there will be different units. Say in one of the company, I have a financial unit. Okay, financial unit means it would be responsible for banking products. What they will do is, they will think of the products which might help customers. What they will do is, they will visit some 5 to 10 banks. In reality, it would be more than 10 banks also. Just take this example, it would be more than 10 to 50. The senior peoples will be there, right? They will go and visit banks, and at bank they will ask what problems they are facing, which would be difficult, managing which task is difficult. So they will list all those things, their problems and concerns, everything. They will make a list of it. And then what they will do is, they will start brainstorming. Okay, if we develop this kind of product, it might help this customer. If we develop this kind of product, it might help these customers. They don't keep one customer in mind, at least 5 to 6 customers they will keep in mind, and they will start developing. If it is very big bank called SCB, Standard Chartered Bank, Nordia, and then we do have JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley. So these are all best financial firms, right? Big financial firm. So if the product is required for only this customer also, it's fine. They will develop it even for the single customer, because it is a big bank, so they will be getting more money. So they will start developing the product, and once they are done with basic functionalities of product, they will start selling it. They will approach one bank and they will sell it, and then they will keep on approaching. There will be different team called sales team. In any product based companies, there will be different team called sales team. And sales team, what they will do is, it is their responsibility to get more sales, and they will go and they will sell the product. And every bank might need some customization. Okay, for example, I will take simple example. Standard Chartered Bank will say, okay, I need wallpaper of car. Okay, I'm just taking the silly example. This is silly, I know, I can understand, but I'm just giving this example to make you understand. Okay, they will say, I need car wallpaper, and JP Morgan will say, I need a bike wallpaper. So these kind of small customization they will do on top of that product, and they will deliver it to the customers. Is it clear now, like what is the difference between service based companies and product based companies? And even in the service based companies, people who will interact with clients, we call them as business analyst. Okay, business analyst. And mainly clients, they will business analyst will interact with clients. Okay, and mainly we will be having 4 categories. One is developers, test engineers, and then manager and scrum master. Okay, and in the developer side only there will be different people like juniors, junior developer, senior developer, architects. Architects are the person who will design everything. For example, for as like now you will be joining as a fresher, right? If they give you something like implement one website, if they tell will you be able to develop it? No, right? It is not possible for you. You need more instructions because your experience level is less, still you have not exposed more in the industry. So what, there will be different peoples like architects, senior architects will be there. What they will do is they will design it. They will design, they will create a mock-up. Mock-up is kind of, you can assume in the paint they will design and show you, design and show you okay, left side form should come, right side table should come. On click of this button, it should call the backend. So these instructions technical architect will give, and then those business requirements will be converted into technical requirements. Business requirements will be from BA, and developers or architects will convert this business requirements into technical requirements, and senior developers and junior developers will start working on that. Okay, even in the product based company it is same thing. First they will start developing, there will be developers and testers, and then there will be sales team also. For every product there will be product owner. They will be leading the product. Okay, product owner will be there for every product. That is bit of service based versus product based companies. Okay, so you need not to worry. If you join as a fresher, you will be having senior people who will explain, okay, what has to be done. They don't come and write your own code. It's not like that. At least they will tell you, okay, say for example, on click of that button, call this backend, and they will provide the backend details. You should be in a position to write that code. And they might say, call this backend and get student list and display in table. They might say this, you should be in a position to call the backend with the details provided by them, and you should represent that data in HTML table. That would be your responsibility. So I will be, I need inputs from you actually. I was thinking about the project. At the end of the front end course, I thought of doing one solid project for you. I need inputs from you. Shall I do simple project which you can understand while I'm explaining only, or shall I do solid project with controls which we would be using in the IT industry, which might take some extra effort from your side to understand? Solid projects or simple project? Solid project. Now only I am saying, if you need solid projects, from tomorrow I will be starting with Bootstrap. Okay, from tomorrow, and from day after tomorrow I will be starting with JavaScript. If you miss any one of this class, no, while doing project I will be using all those controls. And if you're not aware of that, then how I can make you to understand the complex logic? Tell me. Actually, I'm planning very big project. To be honest, I'm not taking any code from online. You can RMC find it out. You can just copy paste my code and check whether it is available online already. It is not like that. I'm putting extra effort this weekend to develop a project where it will be covering almost everything. Okay, so from your side, what I need is some extra effort to understand each and everything. Okay, is that clear? And one more thing, if you're not attending the classes, right, I will check at least 70% plus. I don't think I don't think like I'm your HOD or something. It's not like that. If you're not having 70% attendance also, if I give my project source code, I feel like people are attending classes, right, regular basis. Few people are attending classes on regular basis. They are putting some effort, so I should respect it. That's why I will give project code for the ones who are having more than 70% attendance. And few people are asking about simple project also. Simple project also I will be doing. Okay, I will be doing. If time permits, I will be doing. In the complex project only, what you can do is I will create some two to maximum 5 screens. I might create minimum 5 screens, out of which 2 screens would be simple one. Okay, you can assume if you create two pages, then it is simple project. If you create more than 5, more than 3 means it is solid project. Fine. Now only I am saying I will not be giving the source code of that project if you're not attending regularly. And if you want me to change my teaching style, or if you want me to change something, I can do that. Tell me why, if tell me the reason why you are not attending the classes. I can correct myself. Okay, there is nothing wrong. Let's come back. I think we spent a lot. Will compensate. If required, I will take 10 minutes extra class. Okay. Usually I don't talk other than technical stuffs. Today I thought of talking because I'm really putting effort to create that project. Okay. I'm thinking about it in this weekend. So if you people are not attending, means it is waste, right? That's why I talked this much. Okay. Now we talked about environment setup, and then we talked about ways to include CSS. And we discussed about these three things: inline CSS, external CSS, and internal CSS. When we will go for inline CSS, if you ask me, if your requirement is to just to add the style in one of the elements, then we should go for inline CSS. And the syntax is, we should add style attribute. You should add style attribute, and then within quotes, it should be key value pair separated by semicolon. Separated by semicolon. Say, for example, color red, font size 12 pixel, like that. I've given the example also. So this is the syntax for inline CSS. Within a tag, we should add style attribute, and then we should specify the property and value. Is that clear? Is that clear? Inline CSS, any doubts? Any doubts? Somebody is asking about, can you tell once again how to include HTML and CSS? I will be covering. Just now I started with inline, right? I will be covering other things as well. Okay. You should be strong in basics. That's why I'm specifying this much. Okay. You should never ever forget the syntax. That's why. Okay. And most commonly used properties. We discussed about most commonly used properties. Width gives the content width. Okay. Height, we can specify the content height. It is straightforward. Color is text color. In paragraph, if we write some text, right, color is text color. Background color is beyond text. There will be beyond text, whatever color we will be seeing, that is background color. By default, it would be white, and we can override it by providing background color property and value. Okay. And then we discussed about font size. font size. There we can specify increase or decrease the text size. Okay. And then font weight, to make the text bolder, we will use font weight. And we discussed about padding and margin. I will take simple example. Padding is inner space of content. Margin is outer space of content. Let me take this example. Somebody was asking what is the difference between padding and margin. That's why, say you have a building with compound. Okay, you have a building, house or building, and you have a compound. And in between building and compound, you will be having some space, right? That is nothing but padding. That space belongs to owner only, right? It is owner's property. It is content inner space. It is owner's inner space. That is padding. And outside compound also, there can be another building, or there can be extra space also in between the buildings. Just assume some space is there. That is margin. Margin is outer space of the content. Padding is inner space of the content. If you explain this much, then you are good in the interview. Okay, inner space, outer space of the content. And border is like compound. If you want to add border to your content, then you can use border property. So padding and margin will apply from all four directions: top side, bottom side, right side, left side. Even margin also same thing. If we just want left side space, then padding left. Right side space means padding right, like that. Even similarly, for margin also, it is same thing. Okay. And we have a concept in CSS called box model, CSS box model. That is very important. Even in the interview, you can expect questions from that. There I will explain more on padding and margin. Still, if you are still not clear, means there also I will explain. Okay. And then internal CSS. So if we just add style in this paragraph, say I have 5 paragraphs, will you think for all 5 paragraphs this style will be applied? No, right? In order to make it available for all paragraphs, then I need to copy the same thing and I should add it to all paragraphs, right? In order to avoid that, what we can do is we can use internal CSS. And there it is very straightforward. We can use selector. This is called CSS rule. Okay, this P is selector, and this is property, and this is value, and then ended by semicolon. And this selector is called element selector or tag selector. Element or tag selector. We do have other selectors as well. We will come to that later. So this selector is what we want to select. For example, if I want to select div, then I can give div. If I want to select heading, then I can give h1. It's like that. And internal CSS will be added in the H section. We should enclosed within style tag. Okay. And now external style. External style we should use. So what is the difference between inline CSS and internal CSS? If you want to add style to only one element, then you should go for inline CSS. If you want to add same style to all similar elements like paragraph elements, then you should go for internal style. And if you want to apply style for different HTML files, different pages, then you should go for external style. Okay. And all style sheet files should be saved with .css extension. Okay, is that clear? Any doubts? Okay, I will tell you the syntax also. This is a syntax. We should use link tag in the H section. You can place link in any order. You need not to maintain the order. It is not like it should be always after title. It is not like that. Not like that. You can just place it wherever you want. Just make sure that it is under H section. Okay, link tag we should use, and relation is style sheet, and href we should provide the file path. Is that clear? Any doubts so far? We don't need any extra extension in the VS Code. Whatever we are having already, it's fine. And now we'll see what is inheritance. In CSS, what will happen is, let's take the simple example. The all HTML elements will be under body tag, right? Tag, right? So this tag is a parent tag for all these elements. And these elements, whatever comes under body tag, are children of body tag. Is that clear? So for example, even with this also, UL is the parent tag and list items are the children. You should understand this one. See, UL is here. We're opening here and ending here. And whatever comes inside this block is called children of UL. And UL is the parent tag. This is very helpful when you are developing a project. That's why you should always remember this is parent, this is children. You should remember this forever. Okay. So what will happen is, for example, I will apply some style to UL. In CSS, it would be applied for children as well. It would be children as well. Okay. For example, here I will, in the UL, what I will do is I will specify color as red. Then all list items will be displayed in red color. Red color. How it happened, if you ask me, in CSS, if you apply some styles to parent, then it would be applied for children tags as well. Is that clear? And now if you ask me, what if this list item has a different color? Then what will happen is, all other elements will be having red color and second item will be having whatever defined. Okay, first priority will be given to children and then parent style. Is that clear? Is that clear? Clear about inheritance? Any doubts? Any doubts? Okay. So specificity. Specificity is when you have conflicts, which one will be considered? When you have conflicts, which one would be considered? For example, let's say I have inline style and internal style. I will take this example. This is very important. Try to understand. You might get it as a multiple choice questions if you're attending for some front-end developer interviews. This is say, this is, I will say, this is inline. Okay. In inline, I have this color. I will just write this. Okay. I need not to do all this thing. I will, for paragraph, color is red, size is 45 pixel. Okay. And then when it comes to internal, P color is blue and size is, I will not take size. Instead of that, I will say border 1 pixel border. Okay. External. External, what I will be doing is P color is yellow and then I will take different property, background color. Please concentrate. Please concentrate. Okay. Black. If you understand this one, then you can crack any multiple choice questions. There will be multiple questions on this part alone, which will be considered, which would be considered like that. Okay. Now, for the same paragraph, we have all inline, internal, external. Okay. So how it would be interpreted by CSS, if you ask me, say, in order to say that, first you should know the declaration order as well. For example, in the H section, we can add style and link in any order, right? Style is what? Inline. Inline. Okay, style is inline. And external is what? External we will use link. Okay. And external. This order can change also. This order can change also. Okay. As of now, let's take this example. How it will work is, first is what, and then in the body section you will be having P element where the inline styling is applied. Okay. So how it will work is, first is what? Inline. So first inline will come. Inline will come. So color applied, this one applied. First inline. And sorry. I'm really sorry. It is internal. And here it is inline. Sorry. So here internal. First this one will come. This one will come. And this one will come. And then border. Okay. And then external will come. External, what it is saying? Color is yellow. Background is black. Okay. And then finally it is inline. So color red. Make a note of important thing about CSS. Okay. CSS follows last rule principle. Last rule principle. It is very, very important. Always remember this one, last rule principle. Now what will happen is, border is only one border is there. So no issue. See, if border is one border is, I can strike it. Okay. Border is one border. There is no duplicate, right? Only one border property has been applied. And color, already I have a color here. So that would be ignored. Color, we do have so many things, but last one is what? Red. And size would be. So if you apply all for paragraph, if you apply all say styles in inline, internal, external, everything would be considered. It is not like only inline would be considered. It is not like that. It is not like that. All things will be considered. But if there are any conflicts is what? Color is same, common in all styling. At that time, what is applied last, that would be considered. What would be applied last, that would be considered. And if you change this order, then first you should write external, and then you should write internal, and then you should write inline. So now tell me, if I don't have inline CSS, among external and internal, if there are any common property like color, which would be considered? It would be internal one. And if I change the declaration to this, then what would be considered? External. Correct. And when we have inline, it is always inline. It is always inline. Okay. So always write this way. And then what you can do is, if it is unique property, then just apply it. If it is common property, then whatever applied at last, consider that. In this case, this is unique, this is also unique, this is also unique, so I considered it. And color as a conflict, right? Whatever is there in last, I've given here. This is very very important. CSS follows what? Last rule principle. Is that clear? I'm taking extra effort because you should be confident about basic concepts. Okay. Abhishek Mehta is saying +3. Can you please tell me? I'm not understanding it. What are you talking about? Okay. So you're clear about specificity, right? Okay. And finally, we discussed about element selector. That we already know. As I said, there are multiple selectors in CSS. We are already using element selector. You know the syntax also. This is the syntax. We just have to give the tag name over here, and then flower braces, property and value. So this is element selector. Somebody is saying you said 10 minutes recap. You should see the chat. So many people are still asking me to repeat it. I should respect that as well. That's why I took more time. And starting also, I was explaining about a product based company and service based company. That is for your purpose only. It would help you if to make a decision. That's why I took more time. Okay. So now we are familiar with element selector. Say I have 5 paragraphs. I have 5 paragraphs. Let's create one file today. ID. Okay. I have 5 paragraphs. I will just ignore spelling mistake, guys. So I have 5 paragraphs here, and then I will apply some style. P color red. And then what I will do is I will open it. One second. You can see here, style has been applied for all 5 paragraphs. But I don't want this to happen. Instead of that, I want only this ID, this element to have some specific style. I can also do that one using inline styling as well. But in the IT industry, we don't use inline styling more because it will not so what I can say is, in IT always we should separate HTML with CSS, and also CSS. We should always separate HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Both should not be together. So always it is good idea to create external CSS, or we can make use of internal CSS as well, because here also we're creating the separation only. So if I want to achieve that, then can anybody say how can we achieve it? I just want second paragraph to be in red color. Yes. Aditya is saying give ID. Yes, I will give ID. I will give ID as para. Whether it will work? No. Still we are using element selector only, right? We should use ID selector. Can you tell me ID? Can we have duplicate value for ID? No, right? So it will serve the purpose. ID will be unique, so we can apply it to single element. How to represent it, if you ask me? For tag selector, we just put it as it is. But for ID selector, in order to differentiate between element selector and ID selector, they have done this way. We should have add hash and then the ID value. It's like this. Now, if I go and check, you can easily see the difference. So this is about ID selector. Are you clear? Are you clear? What I will be doing is, I'll just remove everything. I will just remove this one. I will give a note point. We will use elements tag attribute value to apply CSS, right? I will just add this example. And then I will give the heading. Definition I will give later. You need not to remember any definition. If you know that we should use ID selector when we want to using external or internal CSS, when we want to give style for specific element, we should go for ID selector. If you tell that much, then that should be enough. Is it clear? Okay, I will close day 4 notes. And we do have one more selector called class selector. We do have one more selector called class selector. Now my requirement is different. Okay, what I will do is I will copy the same file and I will paste over here. Okay, and I will rename it class. Okay, now I want second one and fourth one to be in red color. Tell me how I can achieve this. Second one and fourth one should be in different color. If I use ID selector, only one element. If I use tag selector, then all will be selected. In that case, we should go for class selector. So instead of this, I will give, I can give same class to any number of elements, right? So I will give it to second and fourth as per my requirement. And instead of hash, to differentiate between ID selector and class selector, we should use dot. These things are very, very important. Just remember, for ID hash, for class it is dot. Okay. And now if I see, I'm not running this one. That's why. See, it serves my purpose. So element selector for everything, for all paragraph. For ID selector, one paragraph. Class selector, more than one paragraph. Like that you can remember. It is not, and I'm just taking paragraph example here. Don't say like it is used only for paragraph. You can use it for other elements as well. Is that clear? Now what I will do is I will create a separate file. Okay. And if I give the name, you will get to know. I will say a.html. Okay. What I will do is I'll create a simple HTML file. Okay. And then what I will do is I will add multiple different HTML elements. Okay. Like h1, p, h6. I will change this one to div. Okay. Div. So I have a different elements here. Okay. Elements. And for all elements, I want to have a same style. So if I have to do it separately, then what I should do? Color red. Okay. And then for paragraph also I should apply. What else do we have? What other elements do we have? We have div as well. We do have h6 as well. I want some property which has to be applied for everything. Somebody is saying, ma'am, screen is totally black. Correct? Can you please confirm whether it is black or it is visible? Is it clearly visible? All okay. Okay, thank you so much. Uh, Please rejoin. You should be able to. Okay, now what I will do, I will just group. Somebody is saying group selector. Group selector, I will come to that part later. Here my requirement is it should apply to everything. This tag, sorry, all inside body tag. We can apply it to body as well, but my requirement is it should individually apply to everything inside body element without grouping. Without grouping. Body tag, if I use, body tag also it will serve the purpose. That is also possible. I do agree. And but in if I have to do it with another approach, what is the another approach if you ask me? That is universal selector. Universal selector. How I can select everything if you ask me? It is using star. If you say star, then it will apply to everything. Then it will apply to everything. I will just comment this. We can comment. We can comment in CSS. I will just rename this file as well. It is universal selector. Okay. Now if I what is this? Yes. See, it serves the same purpose. It serves the same purpose. And universal selector as the least priority. What do you mean if you ask me? Say if I create one more color as yellow, for H1 it is yellow. See, you might be saying, ma'am, you have written it at last, that's why it is taking last rule principle. No, it's not like that. It has a least priority. That's why even if you change the order also, it would be yellow only. Okay. And if it is not common property, then it would be applied for everything. Say I will give it as 80 pixel, it would be very huge. That's okay. I just wanted you to understand, when we have common properties, then only it will override. If it is not common property, this will also be applied. This will also be applied. Only if there are any conflicts, it will override. It's like that. Okay. So this is about it. I should copy this one as well for class selector. Definition I will prepare it and I will give. Don't worry. If you understand the concept, that's enough. And then universal selector. Universal selector. Clear with universal selector? Okay. Then my next topic is grouping selector. Yes, already somebody was saying about grouping selector before. I really appreciate it. So next we'll see. Now I have so many different tags over here, right? I'll just copy and then paste it over here. And then I will say grouping. How we can group the selectors, that we'll see. See, I just want P and div to have some color, okay? So how I can define P color red and same property, font size 45 pixel, and same thing with It's not everything. Only for P and div, it can be more than two also. Don't assume like only for grouping two elements it would be used. We can group multiple selectors as well. Since uh, I want to group P and div, how I can do is using comma separate. I should add everything with comma separate, by separating it with comma. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this one and comment this one. So now I want this one to apply for P, right? Now what I'll do, I'll run it. See, it applied for paragraph and div tag. Okay. And here one more thing. Now taken only for I've taken only element selectors, right? We can group it with different combination as well. For example, I will say class and I will say h1. No, I'll give different one heading. And here instead of p, I will say id. Okay, id para. With this also we can combine para dot heading. Now if you go and check, that's applied. You can mix things. Once you know the syntax, you can just play around with that. Okay. So just concentrate on the basic things, like for id it is hash, for class it is dot, and then just play around with that. Okay. So for grouping selector, we should take this example. Following me? I hope you are clear with these concepts. Guys, and one more thing. Now I've given this requirement id.html where I've applied this id and I applied something, right? If I use class selector also, don't you think it will work? It will work. It will definitely work. I will just change it here because somebody is asking about it. See, it is working. The thing is, you can apply anything, but you should consider this one. If it is all elements, then you should go for element selector. One element, you should go for id selector. More than one means go for class selector. Okay. Based on the requirements, you decide. Class selector even can it can be used for all as well. For example, if I make it as class and if I apply the same clause to everything, it will apply, right? It will apply. But you should not do that. You know when that has to be applied at what time. Okay. Somebody is asking why can't we use id. ID value should be unique across all the screens. When I will be explaining, we do have a method in JavaScript which can read this value. Okay, which can read this value. And at that time, we will get this information using ID only. Okay. And if the ID is not unique, then it will create a problem. If you refer any JavaScript documentation or HTML documentation, everywhere you can see that it should be unique. In now it is simple HTML, that's why it is not throwing any error. If you do the same thing with Angular and React, right, it will not even run. It will not even display anything. It is simple HTML, that's why it is just doing it. Okay. If you do the same thing with Angular, React, or Vue.js, right, it will not even execute. Okay. Next, I will give one more requirement. You should say, I will say this one also. We do have descended selector. Okay. We do have a descended selector. I will give the example. What I did. I will give the requirement first, okay? What I want is, I'll copy the block code. I want this P alone. There are so many paragraphs, right? This P inside div section to have some styling. Class need not to be unique, Joy. Okay. And I want P inside this class section to have some color. Okay. And outside P should not be affected. How can we achieve that? How can we achieve that? Only P inside div should have some color. Don't know. Okay, I'm here. See, how can we achieve that one? If you ask me, it is very simple. In so many cases, in so many scenarios in the IT industry, you will encounter this case wherein you will be having multiple paragraphs, and say for example, if it is under table only, then it should be in bold. If it is outside table, then it need not to be. These kind of requirements you will receive it daily. You will be receiving these kind of requirements. Okay, what you have to do is, it is very simple. What you have to do is, div div is a selector, right? So P, this is the syntax. You need some style to be applied for paragraph which is under div. So you should mention the order div space P. This is thing. So don't think like if you apply this one for div also style will be applied. It is not like that. Let me take one more example for you guys. Otherwise you will get confused. You might have noticed that I am always taking simple examples only: color, font size, H1P, div, span. Even I will be like you only. Okay. But I know if we need different requirement, where I have to go and where I have to search for it. That you people should learn, and you will learn it when you join the IT industry. Okay. So I have applied. Now I'll go. See, there are this one, this one. For this one also, it is under div only. That's why it is applied. Now you can see that if it got applied for div, means it would have applied for heading as well, right? That is what inheritance. Here we are saying paragraph inside div should have color red. This styling will not be applied to div. Is that clear? And also, not only with we can also do permutation and combination over here. We can have class here, and I can say, so it is like paragraph inside class section, and in the parent side it should have class section, then only it should be applied. I will say font size. Okay, font size, and then 56 pixel. Okay, it is, you might be saying, okay, it is the immediate child, that's why it is applying. It is not like that. Even if it is not immediate child also, it will get applied. I will add one more child to this P. Okay, see, still it is applying. Even if you add some more also, it would be like that only. I'll just format it. It is not in the correct format. You can understand this one, right? It is not like immediate child. It is another device there. After that we're having a child over here. Still it is applying. Okay, this is about descendant selector. I've already explained about the requirement as well. Say in the real time, if it is inside table, then it should have some styling, means you can make use of this. Is that clear? Is that clear? Any doubts? Any doubts? Why why people are not responding today? One thing which I liked about this class is people are responding, and I like the people who are responding. It is like if you're responding, even though you're asking multiple questions, um, it means that you're understanding something. No questions means you're not getting anything. I know, even I was a student before. And you people are practicing after the class. Okay, sleeping. Next day morning. At that time also, if you sleep, then no, I don't want to say anything. Okay, somebody is saying we have exams. All the best. We need to go to college. Okay, I know. After in college, doing on weekends. Nice. You people are coming for the attendance sake. That is very bad. Okay, then we'll see ID versus class versus element selector. For the same file, I can add ID attribute as well, class ID attribute as well, and there will be element also. If I apply everything together, which one would be applied? Which one would be applied? Next is that one only. ID, class, and then element. Okay, I will take simple one. Okay, H1 heading, my favorite. And then what I will do, I will create ID. Okay, and then I will create class. Class. Okay, and then I will add style. Sorry. So here I will add H1, and then I will add hash add, that is ID selector, and then I will add class selector. You are familiar with this syntaxes now, right? If you don't know this one, from tomorrow, please don't attend Bootstrap classes and all. At least you should know this. For element, it is nothing. And for ID, it is hash. For class, it is dot. Okay. So now I will add this. Okay. Color red. And I will add color blue. Then yellow. Don't think I'm applying class last, so it will take last rule principle. Last rule principle is for inline CSS, sectional CSS, and internal CSS. Okay, and while explaining universal selector also, I said universal selector has the least precedence, right? Now, if you will go and see what is this, yes, it is ID. And now what I will do, I will remove ID. Now, if you see, it is class yellow. Okay, so takeaway from this is, if we apply all these three things, then ID as first preference, class as second preference, and element as third preference or last preference. Is it clear? I will be giving the notes as well. First, I'll take example. Okay, I will add this. First ID, then class, then element. Clear? We have so many things to cover today, but all are simple things only. If you know the concept, it's enough. Okay. Okay. Fine. And while explaining div and span elements in HTML, I told you people that it is used to group multiple elements, right? Div is used to group multiple elements, and span is used to group inline content. That is what I told you. And in even in the website example, I've taken the website examples, right? If you see it over here, it has taken with my profile. Okay, let me see. See, we are seeing so many div content over here. Mainly this div content, if you see here, we don't have any content over here. For example, if you consider list item and all, here list item is there, right? Here at least some content would be there. Go inside. Div, it is mainly for the grouping purpose. Why do we need grouping? If you ask me, see, if you group this one, then only you can apply some style to this style. If you apply some grouping over here, say here we have image and then we have some content over here, and if we group only, then we can apply some styling to this, right? That is the purpose of this div and span. It is used for the grouping purpose, and it help us to what it help us to style all block. You can consider this one as one block, this one as one block, and this one as one black block. Okay, we'll take the example div and span. I'm giving these kind of names so that you can easily understand when you're practicing. Let's create simple file. Okay, and then what I will do is I will take two paragraphs. Sorry. What I will do is I will take two blocks, heading one. For this heading, this is the paragraph. Okay. For this heading, this is the paragraph. And same thing I will repeat, and I will do this way. And I will run it. Let's close everything. See, now I have two blocks. Okay, one is heading and paragraph, and one is I just want separation. Now everything is looking similar only, right? I want the user to think that this one is one block and this one is one block. How I can do that? How I can do that? If I order, if I want to add some border or something, then it would be applied only to this heading one or paragraph one. It would be applied like that. Let's try it out. Okay, I will add some border to make it as a block. Okay, what I will do, I will add border one pixel solid, and then I will say my favorite color. It is not my favorite color, but still. See, now it will not give clear idea. What I want is I want this heading and paragraph one to be grouped, not heading alone or paragraph alone. Then in that case, we should make use of div. Okay. Now what I'll do, I will add this div, and here also mhm. Okay, and I'll format it. And then instead of H1, I will first what I will do is I will copy this for your reference. I'm just commenting out and I'm explaining. Okay, see, this serves my purpose. It is grouping first one and second one. And even if I want to give separate grouping for this one, I can say section 1 or block 1. Here I can say section 2. And then I will say section 2. And also what I will do is I will add some break here so that it will look nicely. Then I will, instead of red, I will add blue over here. Sorry. And then I will add some background color to this. Um, Yellow. Here, okay. See, we can add individual styling for this blocks once after creating these groups. If I don't create group now, then it is very difficult. It is not even difficult, it is not at all possible. If I apply differently, then even paragraph and heading will look like it is two different blocks. Somebody is asking HTML meta, it's mandatory. No, it is not mandatory. By default, I'm using VS Code shortcut, right? So it is creating it. So don't think about it. Just ignore that one. See? And also you can further style it if you're interested. I hope you're understanding why, what is the use of div and span elements. I will take span also here only. So my favorite one, paragraph. And then what I'll do is lorem. So it created, and then I will go. So now it is like this, right? And what I want is this text or any text, I want this to be highlighted. How I can do it? Highlighted. You can say strong, I can use. No, with strong, what will happen? You know, right? It will only make this one bold. It will not change the color and all. Color and all, we need CSS. So how we can do is, now you might say, div. I will add div here. Okay, I will add div here, and I'll show you what is the problem. This is what my requirement. Is this what my requirement? No, right? I want inline styling. So what I should use for this purpose? Span. And I can add some class to it, or directly I can, for span only I can apply it, since I do have only one second. Yes. Span. What you, I will apply same thing over here. I know it might look bad also. Let's try this. No, instead of this, let's try this. See? And also color also will change. This much of ugly code, I think nobody will do it, but I am just showing it so that you can easily understand. If we add a red and all, then it would be highlighted, right? That is the purpose. Don't think like in real world also we will be using this dark colors and all. Usually it would be light colors only. Okay, is it clear? What is the need of span and div? So it is required, right? Without span and it is very difficult to update the styles and all. Now, yeah, you can style it with your own favorite colors. I'm not styling with my favorite colors actually. I'm just styling with whatever it is coming to my mind. Somebody is asking if more than one span means what we have to do is it's simple. You can apply class. That's what I told you right before also. If it is if we have five paragraphs for all five paragraphs, if we have to apply means go for element selector. If you need it for only one among five means go for ID selector, and more than one means go for CSS selector. Is that clear? Okay. Now we'll discuss about some important properties. Okay. What I will do is I will create a common file for all this. I'll just give some random name properties. These properties we will be using daily. That's why it is very important. So what I will do is I will take simple H1 block heading, and I will add paragraphs. Okay. Now I want style. First apply style tag. We'll run this one. Okay. So here it is plain text. So how many of you have used Microsoft Word for creating documents? There you might be aware of font family, right? What does it do? Yes, it will change font, right? Similarly, we have a property in CSS which will change the style. We have so many like italic, Arial. Arial is there. Times New Roman is there. See, we'll apply Times New Roman now. Just no need anything. Not much difference. What I'll do is I will apply it to Arial. Which one will be different? Cursive. We are not able to see much difference. Sorry, I was it was a syntax error. I'm really sorry for that. We should not add it using a double quotes. That's why. See, you can see here like that we have Arial. It does not show much. We'll add Vartana. See, this is the different font. Cursive is better. It is clearly saying it is a different text. So what I'll do is I will add a normal text over here. You can easily see the difference between these two things, right? See, even if you ask me all font family, I can't tell you. Seriously, I don't know. I'm giving honest answer. It is not like if I have 6 years of experience, I know all font families. It's not like that. Just in CSS, font family in CSS list. Okay, just Google it. It will give you. Go to and you can easily figure it out which one you need. Okay, is that fine? See, here only it is saying if you use this one, this is how it looks like. And even if you want, we can go to CSS documentation. All these things are tutorials, right? We'll go to CSS documentation. See CSS documentation, and here if you inside fonts, CSS fonts will be there. Font size, see, and now you're interested in font family. See, so you can refer this documentation. In the documentation, almost you will find everything because it is the main source. Okay, in the tutorials they will be covering whatever is important, very very important. At least if people are using 1%, then in the tutorials it would be there. I do agree, but if you want everything, if you want to master in CSS, right, then docs is the documentation. CSS documentation is the best place. If you want to excel in anything, if you just go through any tutorials, then you can't. Trust me, you can't. Even if you take multiple courses, even if you take 10 courses about CSS, there will be one thing which should be missing. Okay, but if you refer the documentation, everything would be there, because all these tutorials, everything would be everything they would taken from this only. So here they have just given the introduction. What in the courses and all we will do is we will elaborate it. It would be at the higher level, guys. If you just see it, it would be very difficult to understand. If you don't have any basic knowledge, then directly checking in documentation, it is very difficult. Okay, so if you want to learn any language, first you have to learn right, learn French in 30 days and all, and then you can write a dictionary, French dictionary. Without learning French, can you go and write French dictionary? No, right? It is not possible. First you have to learn it and then you can refer. It is like that. I will add CSS documentation also here, or else if you want you can check in tutorials as well. Okay, is it clear? So I'm just giving this example. So next time, if somebody comes and tell you, okay, we have a normal font here, we want different font, then you should be in a position to say, okay, I should use font family. And what is the value that you can Google and search it? Whatever is appropriate for that requirement, you can just add it. Okay, is that fine? And somebody is asking, what if we specify background color without specifying border in span and div? It will work. It is nowhere related. Without border also you can specify background color. Only border will not be there. Background color will work. There is no dependency. In CSS, that dependency and all, it's not that. It's not like if you don't apply one property, another property will not be applied. It is not like that. I think I'm taking more time. Then font size is there. So font size, we already know. It will help us to increase the size or decrease the size of the text. Now, till now, you might have applied like this, right? 100 pixel. There is one more option. We can just say large. It would be applied. There are options like ExcelR, small and all is there. If you just remove this, if you say medium also, it is available. Again, if you want all the properties, if you just remember small, medium, extra small and all is there, it's fine. If you want everything, then refer the documentation. Okay. And also we do have font weight. For font weight, it would be multiples of 200. If you want to give it as a text, you can give like this, bolder, bold, like that you can give. Sorry, I'm applying it for heading. You might not see any difference now because it's already bold. If you try it with different one, you will get to know. Maybe what I'll do is I will apply it for paragraph, which should be helpful. See, and we do have line 8. Line 8. You might be as you said, you're aware of document, right? Microsoft document. There we can provide line spacing, right? A space between these two paragraphs if you want to specify anything. It is possible, right? Line spacing is possible in Microsoft Word, right? Say yes or no. It is possible, right? See, I have this one, and here I feel okay, line 8 is very minimal. Okay, it is very minimal. So in order to increase it or decrease it, if you think that it is very large, then you can decrease also. How, if you ask me, using a property called line 8, and say I will say 18 pixel, it would be more. Oh, what happened? Why it has not applied? I just have to give it in dot pixel. See, I don't want this much. I will say, see, 2. Is that clear? Is that clear? Okay. We do have one more property that I will apply to H2, because for H2 I'm not doing anything. That's why somebody was asking, now it is left side, right? How I can make it to um, display at the center? How I can achieve it? Anybody knows? It is text align. I'm asking about CSS. So here I should provide center. Now if I go and check, see, it is at the center. And if I want it at the right side, that also it is possible. What I will do is I will create multiple, and I will add id is equal to id is one. In real time, we should not use this simple terms, but I want to show it quickly. That's why I think it will not work. What is happening? I should not use a. Can use, right? No restrictions. Okay, start. It should not start with numbers. Sorry, yes. It should not start with number. So and with A2, we'll say it as center. Okay, and for A3, I will say start. Even start also same thing only. See, and for A4, I will say end. Is this clear? We do have center, left, right, start, end, and all. Is this clear? Now I want to, you might have seen, yeah, I have a heading. You can add underline, right? In doc, we can add underline, right? How I can achieve it in CSS, adding underline? If you ask me, the answer is text decoration. Text decoration, underline. See? No, sorry. This is a way we can add it. And also we can strike the text itself, right? How I can do it? How I can do it? If you ask me, it is line through. Text decoration is line through. You can see it here. It's strike. Is that clear? Is that clear? Understood all these properties? Okay, five. I will just remove few because in notes it would be huge. Okay. Now I will explain important concept in CSS. Actually, this is the only theory concept which is available in CSS. They might ask you about CSS box model. What is CSS box model? If you one second. I do have this. I'm sorry, once again. I have a diagram to explain that. So, what is CSS model? If somebody asks you, you should say that every element, what is element? Just give the example, that's enough. I am not asking you to give the definition of element. Div, h1, p, and all are elements. So every element in HTML consists of these things. One is content, and another one is padding, and then is border, and then is margin. So as I explained before also, by taking building example, say consider element is building, okay, house, okay, element is house. So whatever is inside, it's a content. Whatever is inside is a content. And then in between house, like after house, there will be compound, right? That, and there will be some spaces, that is padding. That is padding, some spaces between the house and the compound, okay, that is padding. And after that compound is there, right? That is border. That is border. And after border, if like from one house to another house, if there are any space, means that is margin. If no space, means usually there will be there won't be any spaces, right? Then margin will be 0. That's why it is not having any space. If in between the houses, if you have spaces, that is margin. If you consider villas and all, usually there will be spaces, right? Even between one house to another house, there won't be common compound also. That's an example. If you can think that way. In between, just imagine you have multiple houses in one building, okay, or in one layout. So one house is one element, second house is second element, and it organized. Each house will be having content inside house. It is content, and then compound space will be there, right? That is padding, and then border is compound, and in between the house, if some gap is there, means that is margin. Okay. And if you ask me here why I'm saying padding is inner space, means if you apply border here, like if you see the border here, border will come after padding, right? So even though it is not part of the content, even though it is not part of the content, it is inner one. I mean, it's content specific. And then margin is outer space. Is that clear? The difference? This is CSS box model. If somebody asks you what is CSS box model, just tell them each element in HTML having these things: content, padding, border, margin. That is what is CSS box model is. Is that clear? Is that clear? Yes. We'll quickly take the example. Box model dot HTML. I will quickly do it. Please concentrate. So I will take simple element, my content. Okay. And then we'll go to style. So what we need a div selector, and then we do have a padding, right? Padding, some padding we do have it, and it is 20 pixel. I'll say 20 pixel. Margin also we have. I will say 30 pixel, and we'll apply some background color, and that I will say green. Okay, green yellow, and then color red. Okay, and then border also we need. Say I will give 4 pixel solid. This one give some color blue, and we'll give some width to this 200 pixel, so that it will look border now it is just my content, right? It looks small, that's why in order to make it large, I'm giving. And I will say text align center. This is just for the indication purpose. Okay, I will just run it. Okay, it is this element. Okay, maybe this one will not work with this. This. What I have to do is I should make the it does 100%. Okay, are you getting now? So this is content, and outside content we have a padding of 20 pixel, and then border is there, and this is margin. For body I will have some color, body background color. See, this is margin. You can see this is 20 pixel over here, and here also 20 pixel, and here also 20 pixel will be there. Width I've given it as 80%, so it is occupying only 80% of the content. Within 80%, it is in center place only. Okay, understood this concept? This is CSS box model concept. Any doubts on this? Okay. Now we do have position property. It is very important actually. There are 4 different position values. We do have a position property, and if you ask me what is the use of it, say for example, we can show you. We can take few examples over here, but I'm not getting anything. Okay, we'll go one by one and see. Okay. By taking this example only, I will explain why it would be used. I'm not finding any internet examples as of now. Okay, so I will say position property, and we do have 4 position properties. First one is static, and these things are very, very important. Relative. Third one is fixed, and fourth one is absolute. And if you don't specify any property, this is the default property. So always remember, If you're not specifying anything, it would be default, by default it would be static. Its position is static. Okay. And what is the static property? If you ask me, I'll create simple HTML file. I will take simple HTML file. Now what I will do is I will just add 3 to 4 divs. Okay. Division 1, division 2, division 3, division 4. And I will run it. So what I will do is I will add one class to this one and I will name it as static. You can give any name. Okay. Now we'll style this property. And selector is class selector. And I will add some border just to verify its position. For verifying the position, I'm adding this one. Okay. And the position is by default, it is static only. I'm explicitly adding also. Even if you don't add, it would be static only. Don't you think this division 3 always will be in the order it has been specified? For example, if I change this one from year to year, it would be between division 1 to division 2. It is like that only. Even if I give some top property, there are 4 properties in CSS. Okay. Top, bottom, left and right. What are these properties? If you ask me, from top, where exactly it should display? See, if you take this screen as some say 1000 pixel, it is 1000 pixel vertically. From top, it should be there at 50 pixel. At that time, what we have to do is top is 50 pixel, like that we can give. Okay. And from bottom also we can decide. From bottom it should be at 50 pixels. So somewhere here it will come. Okay, like that also we can define. That option is available, but not with position as static value. This division is statically positioned, so it won't be having that option. Even if I specify top as 50 pixel, it will not take it. It will not take it. It would be static always. I will say from left side go display from 100 pixel. Whether it will change? No, it will not change. Is it clear? Static means what? It would be always in the order it is available currently, and it will not change. It will not, it won't be affected by this top, left, bottom and right properties. Is it clear? Is it clear? And next we do have relative property. So relative property also similar to static property only. It is similar to static property only. I will take this example only. Only one difference is, it will consider top left property, not from relative to the place it is present, not from here, not from you can see the right address bar is there, right? Below that it will start, HTML will start, right? So not from here it will take, relative to the place it is present. So it is present inside this one, so relative to that it will take. I will just just change this one and say relative, and I will apply it as relative. Now you can easily see the difference. Okay, it is not. See, it has taken this place. So from top it is 50 pixel, from left it is 100 pixel. Is that clear? So say for example, I have a requirement where I have to show this one as bottom. From bottom, after 2 pixel, I want to show it. From this property only it is taking. Why? I will check this one later, why it is not working. But it would be affected by top and left properties. All properties, top, left, right, and bottom also it should consider. Tomorrow I will say why it is not. Okay. Relative changes according to somebody is asking relative changes according to what? It will change according to the so for example, division 3 was present over here, right? Between division 1 to division 2. So from this place to 2 pixel, how much it would be? It will take, say now I will make it as 10 pixel. In order to make more sense, what I will do is, see, it is not changing relative to the old document or old HTML file. It is changing relative to the its original position. So its original position is here. From this original position, it is taking, from top it is taking 10 pixel. Yeah, now I understood why it was not taking bottom, because from here to 200 pixel was not at all possible. That's why it was not taking. I will give some lesser value. It won't be possible, I guess. See, with that also it's not possible because here restriction is there. That's why it was not taking bottom. Is that clear now? It is relative to its original position. Its original position is this one. It is relative to the original position. From this position, left side it is taking 100 pixel, and this one it is taking 10 pixel. Is that clear? If I use static here, then it will not change the position. We saw, right? After adding top, left, and all, it was not changing its position. Now, next one is fixed one. This one is very important property. This is very important. So please listen. I will take static one. Just copy it. So fixed one will be fixed to the position where we have defined it. For example, if I give some example, then you can easily understand. Say I want one text to always present over here downside. You might be seeing in the websites there will be chartboard apps and all. It would always be present over here, no matter what. Even if you use scroll bar and all, it would be always present over there. For that purpose we will be using fixed. So let's see, fixed. And then I want my content to, from bottom I want, right? So from bottom it is 0 pixel. Okay. And from right side 0 pixel. So I want it at the right side bottom. So what I will do is I will add more break lines. I'm going a bit faster because I want to cover this one. One more property is there, that's why. So what I'll do is I'll run this. I think I've not changed the property yet. 1 second. So still I think it is static only, fixed one. That's why it's not changing. Okay. So now if you see division 3, I will give some width to this. Now if you see, it is always present over here. Now what I will do is I will scroll down. You can see here, look at the scroll bar. See, even if I scroll down also, scroll up also, it is always at its original position, fixed position, even it is unaffected by the scrolling. In that purpose, we will be using fixed. Okay. And next one is absolute. Next one is absolute. So what absolute will do is, first I will copy the code from this one only. It would be relative to the nearest parent. So you might already aware of relative property, right? That would be relative to its original position. This one would be relative to its original relative parent. So you might be seeing if we are displaying images on top of that, if I want to add checkbox on top of the image, I want to add checkbox. Okay, so that I can select the image, right? You might have seen it in the websites where you can select the images, right? How do they achieve it? Using this concept only. So what they will do is they will create a relative parent, and inside that they will place the absolute element. So for the demo purpose, what I will be doing is, if I take a simple light, it will not be visible easily. 1 second. I will take some height so that we can easily differentiate. I will say 200 pixel. Okay. And then what I will do is I will add border to this. Border 5 pixel solid. 5 pixel is not needed. 1 pixel solid green. So this is the parent element whose position is relative. Whose position is relative. I want this content, this absolute content, to present top left side. Top left side. Then how I should define the property? Left side is, sorry, I should make changes here. Top as 0 pixel and left side as, I will give some space also, say 5 pixel or 3 pixel. So what it will do is there will be relative element, right? Parent element. On top of that, it will place this absolute content based on this position. It would be relative to the parent element. Let me run it. See, you can see here. So here I've taken div, right? Instead of that, you can take image also, and then instead of div here, you can add checkbox, so that whenever they select it, you can assume that okay, image has been selected, something like that. This is the advantage of absolute value. Are you clear with this? And if you ask me, if we don't have any relative element, by default, HTML is HTML's position is relative. If I don't have any relative parent, means it will be positioned relative to the HTML element. I will show you. For example, I will add it over here. Okay. Now, if you see this, see from the top. So this whole thing is HTML. So from here it has started. Now what I'll do is this one I'll say it as absolute 1. absolute one. If no parent element, parent relative element is there, means it will take HTML. So instead of this, what I will do is I will say 500 pixel. So now if you see, let's come over here. It would be relative to the old HTML. Is that clear? Any doubts? Yes, somebody is saying, repeat it. See, the thing is, absolute position element would be relative to the parent whose position is relative. Okay. And if we don't have any parent element, see in this case, I don't have any parent element whose position is relative. In that case, what will happen is, for all these elements, HTML is the main element, right? HTML is the main element, right? So it is the parent. This HTML's position is relative. If somebody asks you in the interview, what is the HTML's position? Your answer should be relative. So in that case, it would be relative to the entire page from this one to this one. Is that clear now? Yes. Okay. So tomorrow we will be starting with Bootstrap. See, the thing is, just for adding 5 to 6 properties, it will kill our time, right? It will kill our time, right? Instead of that, if we have some styling which is already available, for example, if I want table like this, if some stylings are already present, then it would be very helpful, right? If somebody has already written a code to achieve this particular table styling, it is good, right? So Bootstrap used for the same purpose. Almost 90% plus projects will be using 90% projects will be using Bootstrap only to make screen responsive and also to make use of the existing stylings. So what Bootstrap will do is they will be having these classes before only. We just have to make use of it. And on top of that, we can do the customization. And also we will be starting with Bootstrap, and also yes, I will go here. Why didn't open? You can see these icons here. Last time when I was giving the example of anchor tags, you can see so many icons over here, right? It is giving Play Store icon, Apple icon, and Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn icons and all, right? Tomorrow I will be explaining these things as well. How you can add icons in your HTML file, and also how we can make use of Bootstrap to our project. Is it clear? Is it interesting? At least. Okay. We'll end the session now then. Before leaving, any questions? Uh, Thank you so much, everyone, for attending. If you don't have any questions, means you can leave, and we'll meet tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be discussing very important two important things. One is how to include font awesome icons. Font awesome you might be hearing for the first time. We'll see how we can include icons in HTML, and then we'll discuss how we can include Bootstrap in HTML file. Is it clear? Okay, fine. Any questions?
Guys, I seen the lots of messages regarding to the notes. So notes are already available in the LMS. So please check out. Yes, and today's notes will upload by tomorrow.
And somebody is asking, how can we add an icon or logo in title document? I will be covering when I will be doing the project. Fine. How can we add a logo? Yes. Any other questions? On what days we have holiday? Saturday and Sunday. Any other questions? How to add our local image and videos from gallery? Where you want to add it in the HTML file? I have given the notes about image tag. Just follow that. You should be able to. Or you can watch the recording as well. How many values are there in border tag? It is not like how many now you should tell me this answer. How many numbers are there? It is infinity, right? So for border also it is like that only, but don't give 1000 and all. It would be very big. Only we can see border in the screen, nothing else. No restriction. Any other questions? Any other questions? Flex properties, it would not be part of this course. If you need, I can give some materials which will help you to read more about it, which would be helpful. I will provide you tomorrow. Okay. Just remind me once. Any other questions? Guys, if you don't have any questions, please leave the session. Thank you so much. And people who are having the doubts can continue for 3 more minutes.
Yeah, Amar, can I end up the session?
Just wait. Bhavya ma'am is there, no?
Yeah, Bhavya ma'am is left.
No, I'm here. I think I just gave some 5 minutes for Q&A. I think I am not getting any questions as of now. If nothing, we'll end the session.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.